you ever wondered, what's dumber? Actual 5-year-olds or like people who want to have sex with 5-year-olds? I mean, what would be dumber? Like, the 5-year-old doesn't know like basic things about reality and what planet it is and how the universe works and where human beings came from and all that. They need somebody to tell them a story. But they do seem to know, like, don't cut the cat in half with your plastic chainsaw. They sort of know how not to harm things. I mean, I don't know, maybe some 5-year-olds, maybe they have sex with the cat, I don't know. So, but they don't seem quite as dumb as pedophile, right? Because the pedophile doesn't even know that it's not nice to be sticking your wiener in children's parts. Like, that's like kind of rude. Like, that's not what children are for. They're not things to have sex with. You're supposed to have sex with, like, stuff. You could buy stuff at the store you can have sex with, like the right kind of store. Well, even the grocery store, there's lots of stuff you could have sex with. Why are you picking on children? They're not things to have sex with. So it does make you wonder, which one is smarter, the 5-year-old or the person who molests the 5-year-old? It's sort of meaningful. Oh, meaningful, that's one of the subjects, is meaning. That somehow, if you don't have meaning in your life, like if you can't find your way in life, like a purpose, like somehow if you're living in like a place where everything around you is imperfect. Like, imagine this crazy world, right? Like, expand your imagination and imagine you live in a world where there's a ton of imperfection all around you. And, if you would be sitting there saying in your chair, you're just sitting in a chair, you're looking at all this imperfection, all this stuff that's not finished or kind of broken or insufficiently efficient. And you could be looking at it and you could say, that doesn't compel me to do anything. Why should I care? That's, I guess, what a 5-year-old or a person who fucks 5-year-olds might say. But rational people would go like, hey, there's a lot to do here. Lots to clean up. That would be the logical thing. Like if you went to somebody's house and you were like going to sit down and eat dinner and there was a big pile of like dog vomit on the table. You would like, hey, you know what? Let's clean up the dog vomit before we put our plates down and eat food here. And like, people would have that kind of logic when they're going to like say if you were a bird and you laid eggs that popped into little birds, you'd be like, hey, I wouldn't want to be a bird hatched on a pile of shit or in a pile of shit, so maybe I shouldn't lay eggs on piles of shit. And I should first clean up and make a nice place for the egg if I'm going to lay eggs. But if you were smarter than, like, say, a 10-year-old or someone who molests 10-year-olds, if you were smarter than one of those two things, you might even say, hey, why do I even want to lay eggs? It seems like kind of a stupid thing to do. Can't I find some other way to find meaning in my life? Can I only find meaning by exploiting some 10-year-old or 5-year-old or 3-year-old or even a 75-year-old? Why would I force something else to live so I could gain some gratification out of its existence? That's really exploitive. So, but if you're a 10-year-old or someone who molests 10-year-olds, you're not going to be able to understand that because you don't know what exploitation is. That's why you exploit. So it's like you have to try to get into the mind of a 10-year-old or the mind of a 10-year-old molester, and that's a good way to test if you're not a 10-year-old or a 10-year-old molester. Because if you go into the mind of a 10-year-old molester, and you can't see any difference between that guy and you, well, then you know what you are. You're a freaking molester. Alright? So if you can't figure out simple things like, oh, you need to have discipline and control in your life, except over your desire and your uncontrollable mania to lay eggs in shit. So you should control, to find true meaning, mind-blowing meaning, like getting blown by a 5-year-old. I mean, you have never been mind-blown till you've been blown by a 5-year-old. But that's besides the point. So anyway, so let's say you wanted this mind-blowing meaning thing. Maybe you should look for it in disciplining yourself out of doing something silly, like existing in an imperfect world, and then making more imperfection. Like, if you're going to bother making something in imperfio, yeah, it seems like the rational thing to do, not to make more molesters or molestables. It would be like smart thing to do would be to take yourself out of your 10-year-old self or your 5-year-old self or your molester of 5-year-old self and try to become something better than that by being rational and reasonable and consistent and not hypocritical and not duplicitous. Like, don't be grotesquely duplicitous. Yeah, I'll play some of his video because it really is hilarious. I have to play some of it. Yeah, I have to. It's my job. So let's go back here. I mean, he just talks. I mean, just so he's doing more of this like almost Buddhist stuff or something. Like all this Eastern philosophy is so fucking brilliant. You know, people don't know how to make furniture.
To just about any sort of mind-expanding kind of philosophy out there, you actually see the reality of the universe for what it really is. If your mind is boxed in,
so look at this, the pretentiousness of this. This is a guy who's saying, you know, don't be telling anybody what to believe. Don't be telling me what the truth is about molesting 10-year-olds. But he'll sit there and imply that he's got the secret. Ha, ha, ha.
your mind is used to living in a certain groove and has taken these grooves as reality itself, you are in for one hell of a shock.
Oh yeah, when you realize the secret I have right here in my pocket. Photos of, oh no, never mind. Ha 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 ha.
To see reality for what it really is.
What it really is, because he knows, because he's a biofakiologist who just makes up a big pile of crap to justify being a selfish, turdy molester of children. He wants to have a child. He wants to have it. He wants to have a child. He wants to take it from a womb and take it. He wants to have it. Yeah.
I just chose that quote from Sri Swami.
Because you're a pompous, imbeciliate.
Not because I believe in any of that
Jibber jabber, gibber gabber nonsense, but I just do it to be incredibly pretentious. So when I say something about blowing your mind with my secret philosophy, you'll get it because I'm saying it in Eastern jibber jabber. So let's go ahead a little bit. This will just be boring.
Along these lines was the video that I made yesterday, or before, whatever.
Whenever.
About getting into other belief.
About getting in and having those 10-year-olds, getting in those 10-year-olds, get in their mind through their, well, or go in through the other, well, or you can go right close to their mind by going right in that, well, you know, but yeah, get inside of them, inside of their head.
And people's fear of contamination. Let's say, for example...
Yes, reasonable fear of contamination.
I want to understand what it was that prevailed upon the minds of certain people to turn them into Nazis.
Nazis. They didn't like gnats because they're little tiny bugs that bite. Alright? And so they said, let's get rid of the gnats. Okay? They probably have horns and are stinky, besides being little biters and molesters of young children.
In order to fully understand that, I have to convince myself in some sort of deep down, sort of simian way, that Nazism is a philosophy I want to follow.
You're already walking goose step right down that road, fella, in the sense that you're a nihilist pig who disqualifies suffering without even having to respirate at a faster rate.
Now, that's asking for trouble if you're not disciplined.
Oh, yeah, it might be scary because you might become a molester of children. So if you think like a molester, takey, grab, takey, grab, you might become a takey, grab.
Your ability to come back out of that.
Oh, moving on.
To exist in two levels of thinking at the same time, with the real one in control of the situation at all times.
The real one. Yeah, I said it twice.
If I, on the other hand, I had no self-discipline and I decided that I was going to become a Nazi to see what it's like to be a Nazi.
So he's going to have children because he wants to see what it's like to have children. Even though he's got photos demonstrating that, oh, never mind.
Or, to join the hard...
Jump ahead.
If you actually want to give up on all your biases...
Because I don't have any, so I know what it is to release you of your biases. I released myself many times on... Oh, never mind.
You'd better be prepared for the consequences.
But don't take pictures, and then you won't have to be prepared for the consequences, because there won't be any evidence.
Now...
And kill your victim, because it makes their suffering go away.
Some people, I think, don't believe in anything around them anymore.
I think that's you. He's making a joke, maybe. See, maybe you tell children jokes first. Before you have them, you could tell them a joke. So before you have your child, you maybe should tell it a joke. Okay.
They don't believe in the value of their own existence or the value of existence itself.
You don't say. You mean they believe in evolution and think it's just a bunch of hideous machines stealing energy from each other for no good reason, but because one of them did it once 4 billion years ago and they keep replicating because of a DNA chemical molecule's compulsion that's built into its physics? You don't say.
They're not quite sure who they are, what they are.
Oh, I think they are. They're sure they're mammalian species. Well, class. Familia. Mammalia. Yeah. They feel and think and such. They think it's wrong to have children the wrong way. If you know what I mean. bad touch and such.
Or what reality is.
Oh, what is that? The mind blow. You get your mind blown, if you know what I mean, and then you know what reality is.
And yet, they're not quite ready
to be a pompous asshole motherfucking child molester. Oh. Well, maybe that's good. Yeah.
Take the necessary
be a taker. Take them. Yeah. Take them. Get me? Wink, wink.
steps to see reality for what it is.
A little puckering anus on the cute little 5-year-old. Ooh, there's looking into the deep hole of reality.
It's a bizarre kind of half-state where you've abandoned reality in terms of any value you place on it.
Oh, no, of course not. You don't value reality. You value the reality-ites that are in reality suffering. And you make millions and billions and billions of videos explaining how the suffering is bad. Bad, bad, bad. And that you should try to make none of it happen, because it's intrinsically stupid, like raping 5-year-olds.
And yet you can't let go of it.
Well, yes you can. Let go, let go. Please let go of its little willy.
Because you're frightened of the consequences of being that prisoner in the dark cave suddenly thrust up into the sun.
Thrusting. I'm thrusting, and the having, and the taking with the thrusting.
That's kind of an arrogant thing to say.
Oh, coming from me, though, it's completely preposterously silly, isn't it? Me even knowing the word arrogant or saying it is almost just so grotesquely duplicitous.
When you say that most people who are, I guess, antinatalists or
who are most people who are child-friendly, yeah, child-friendly, wink, wink, yeah, what are the people who are child-friendly?
fundamentally negative about the universe.
And fundamentally positive about the rubby, thrust, take, have. Yes, the take, have. But they can't discipline them little selves.
Are mad about life or depressed about life or sad about life.
Are completely respectful of the friggin' price paid for the stupid slop. It's a big fucking pile of duty and you assholes are praying to it. And they're going, holy fucking shit, they're molesting children and praying to shit. Holy fuck. What do? Yeah, there's nothing you can do. You play some Monty Python movies. Life is too stupid because of you fucks.
And yet really cannot abandon it.
Abandon, yes. Well, why would I abandon something? Abandoning things is bad. Abandoning. I'm not going to do this abandoning.
And that's a tricky thing to say to abandon life. I would just say loosen your grip on it.
Oh, loosen your grip. Get me? Loosen. Loosening is good. Soft and hard. Yeah.
Because you're gripping it far too tight, even after
gripping it far too tight. It's a little one. You can't grip it too tight on the little ones.
Abandon your belief in it.
Ah, bibble babble. Let's jump ahead.
I don't really know if there's any way out of that cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac. He thinks he's cul-de-sacking now. What the fuck is with your vocabulary? It's getting more and more eccentric as the topic gets more and more irrelevant. Your language, your vocabulary gets more and more affected. Yeah.
family, etc. I have friends. I have habits and things that I enjoy doing.
Ah, yes, I enjoy doing with and while having and taking and thrusting and grabbing. Was grabbing one of the words? I don't remember. There was some word about something. Something. Yeah, something grabby.
But I think that in my own case, there's enough of a disconnect from it all. And again, that might simply be my
fucking pitity.
My own personality type.
No, your own brain tumor type.
There's enough of a disconnect from it all that it doesn't overwhelm me the way that it used to when I was depressed.
Ah, when I was depressed, that's when I was really doing that visiony, blink thing in my head. Ooh, I'm glad that wore off. Ooh. Now I'm just kind of dull and stupid. And I think about sitting around just going, yeah, brilliant. I admire people that just sit around and go, yeah, he does. He admires them. Those native people and their ability to get drunk and stoned out of their mind and just sit around and go, impress the fuck out of him. Alright, let's jump ahead. Let's get this done with already.
People fear.
Fear!
That death might
death again.
Depressed people, if you ask me, have that fear.
Depressed people are stupid dummies. Fuck them. What's to be depressed about? It's not like your egg hatched on a big pile of shit, you know. Yeah, it's not like that happened. It's not like you're part of a 4-billion-year-old gladiator war. What are you bitching about?
And it's a fear that's very, very difficult to grasp. It's the fear that if you actually do see reality.
Yeah, like this guy actually sees reality. I got some picture. Oh, no, never mind. Jump ahead. Blah, 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 blah.
A, provided the discipline is not abandoned, you're okay. It's
discipline, yeah, except I don't discipline. Discipline's miscellaneous. I do what I want. I tell you what I want. I tell you what you want isn't the right thing, and what I want is the right thing. That's what I do. Except I pretend like that's not what I'm doing. Like somehow I'm doing the exact opposite of that, but that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm saying what I want is good. Baby, baby, rub, rub, thrust, thrust, have. And what you want, not to be baby, baby, that gets thrust, thrust, halved, too bad. What I want's good, what you want's bad.
Really crazy to go through it, but you're okay.
Oh, fuck you. Just get this, please. This is really difficult. Get it over with already.
Shield yourself.
Shield yourself.
From a fear.
That's what that's right. I'm trying to shield myself from a thrusty, have fear.
Of what reality might actually be.
Yeah, reality might actually be what? Consistent with the facts? All the evidence, the mountains of frickin' evidence of what life is. It might be what it is. Yeah, I think it is.
But what I do say is, how come there are people out there
What I do say is, how come there are people out there who discuss subjects in this incomprehensible, disconnected, pointless, idiotic, infantile, bigoted, and prejudiced manner? How come they do that? Oh, that's right, because they're weasels. They got weasel blood running through their veins. I think they molest baby weasels.
consciously seek to have their mind blown in that way?
Mind blown. Yeah, that's what you call an acronym or something. I don't really mean mind blowing, if you get what I mean. Wink, wink.
People who consciously seek to be the prisoners dragged out of the cave and thrown into the bright sunlight.
The prisoners dragged out of the cave and thrown into the bright sunlight, to which they adapt and realize, oh my god, I've been in a cave my whole life. Boy, that was stupid.
I would say that the existential crisis might be something that...
Yes, might be, because I know, because I was there and back. I went right inside the magic hole. I can tell you what's in there.
Those of us who really want to understand reality itself.
Yes, isn't this funny? Those of us who really want to understand reality itself. This coming from some asshole who pretends he's not telling people what the truth is. Amazing. Amazing duplicity. Just so fucking preposterous.
Have to go through. It's an interesting thought.
No. Isn't that another one of these the pomposities? Isn't it interesting when you think about thinking and the thoughting of it and the fact that you thought you were thinking when you were thoughting about the thinks? Fuck you. Fuck you. Yeah, I just hope you get halved and thrusted just the way you deserve. You get exactly what you deserve. Exactly what you deserve. Secret talk. Whisper, whisper. It's another one of the tactics. Whisper, whisper. Can you keep a secret? Yes, he has the secret. Anyway. Fuck. Alright, till next time. So, he's gonna keep doing it. I'll keep doing it. Yeah. It entertained me. Little bit.